How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the BT. We got Mikey over there. Colin's over here. Today's episode is going to be brought to you by Mesa Modern Mexican. What I need all of you to do is the weather's warming up like a sauna up in here, Mike. It's a sauna. Yep. We need you to go over to Mesa. They got the outdoor seating.
Not yet.
Buzzing.
We don't have it yet.
We don't have it yet.
But it's getting close.
It's warm out. We got to go bring a lawn chair, get a margarita, sit outside. You know, Mikey's over here slinging drinks, slinging entrees. When you go there, get yourself an entree. Tell them that the B team sent you, and we are giving you 10% off. Well, they are, but we are giving you 10% off. Mike, hit the new listeners with some of the entrees they could get.
All right. I got to think of some other different entrees this time. Shrimp and scallop is one. We got the skirt steak. That's another one. Seafood enchiladas. Pork relleno. If you're a big pork guy, mashed potatoes comes with some veggies. Dude, fire. So good. There are so many entrees there. Come in, hang out with me, throw me a nice little tip. You know, we could use it in this economy.
Oh, my God.
Just come through.
All right. Don't forget it. That was a bad decision on my part. When you go there, get the entrees, get a mark, tell them the B team sent you, follow the B team, follow Mesa. They're posting beautiful pictures all the time. Yeah. They got new stuff on the menu all the time. They got new drinks on the menu all the time. Mesa Modern Mexican, Easton, Pennsylvania, 10% off your entrees right there. Let's get it.
Come in.
All right, Mike, ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, guys. We have a good one for you today. We're going to go through, we got the Tush push news. We got teams contemplating banning the Tush push. That's going to get voted on soon. Then we have Shedeur Sanders just is going to go to the combine and hang out, I guess. And then we're going to get into some future bets. So, Mike, let's start right off the top. Unidentified teams
has been identified
to ban the Tush push. It wasn't at the Green Bay Packers. Is that confirmed, or is that a Dov Clement?
That was not a Dov Clement. I think Shefty confirmed it.
Shefty confirmed it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the Green Bay Packers are a bunch of wuss bags and are proposing to ban the Tush push. You know, that's good that he was able to confirm that, because there were some people out there thinking, you know, they saw unidentified team, and we were getting some heat thinking the B team was sending in proposals to ban the Tush push. We would never do that. Never do that.
No.
Big
we were just talking about it.
Pro Tush push, pro butt, you know, your body, your choice type of podcast over here. You know, we would never let that happen.
You thought it'd be the Chiefs, no? I figured it would 100% be.
I thought it'd be the Commanders.
The Commanders make sense because obviously the NFC Championship.
So
Frankie Louvu just dolphin diving over the center
multiple times. I mean, that was stupid on his part.
That was awesome.
That was stupid.
That was funny.
No, but that's a good segue into what segment of this I wanted to get into. So next month, the owners are going to be voting on this proposal. You know, they got to get 24 out of 32 teams to vote yes for it to be put into action.
How many teams? Say it again.
24 out of 32.
Okay.
So, you know, but how many teams actively use the Tush push? It's really just Philadelphia and the Bills. Some teams say they do, but it's really not the Tush push. It's just a quarterback sneak. Like the way Dak does it, he doesn't get pushed at all. Now, when you look at the Tush push, 87% of Buffalo and Philadelphia attempts end up as a touchdown when they're going for a touchdown. The rest of the league's hitting at a 70% clip, which is not bad either. Like 7 out of 10 times you're scoring that touchdown. So it does make you think, you know, is this play stoppable? Is it stoppable when, you know, it's second and goal from the 2-yard line? It's not. No. It's not. You run that thing 3 times. You're guaranteed. You're probably guaranteed an offsides, guaranteed first. But you run it 3 times, you're almost guaranteed a touchdown unless you're Josh Allen in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But like what you just said, who would actually propose this ban? You know, you got to get 24 teams. You got 24 teams. So it's basically 24 teams going against Philly and Buffalo. And McDermott's already kind of against the Tush push. He's spoken out against it because of player safety. He claims Buffalo runs it a little different than Philadelphia, which, I mean, sure. Philadelphia really does just barrel roll, but at the end of the day, a Tush push is a Tush push. Like you can't hop on one side of the fence and then show up in the season and run it 80 times a year. I don't agree with that side of it, because clearly you do agree with running it.
Yeah.
So taking Buffalo and Philly out, who really is going to vote yes here? We've already said Kansas City probably, because they don't want to deal with Buffalo and Philly.
a lot of the NFC teams
Green
will.
Bay.
Yeah,
I think the Cowboys, Washington, and the Giants will, just because of Philadelphia.
My thing is,
but that's 5. That's only 5.
Yeah, listen, there are going to be some teams. There's two sides of the spectrum here. It's where it's a play in football, and yes, it's been implemented in this system of offense that we see every day from every single team, and it's unstoppable in a way. But the other hand is, and it's obviously the win percentage of that happening is 88% for the Birds, which is, I mean, you're going to take that any day of the week. It's impossible to stop, pretty much. I mean, especially with Philadelphia, they run it and they destroy it. So I could see why teams are mad about it, because when you're in that 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 4th and 2 situation, 4th and inches, it's an immediate first down. Yeah. But
and most people would think they know where I lean on this situation, which would be to say ban it.
Ban it, of course.
But I really am not on that side, because, if you don't want this play to occur, don't let them get to 3rd and 2. Don't let them get to 4th and 2.
That's the other side. That's the other side of the conversation is have the defense play defense and stop them where they pretty much cannot get to that point on the field.
Keep them at 3rd and 5. Don't let them get to a 3rd and 2. Don't let them get to that situation where the Eagles could run 2 plays and it's almost a guaranteed first down.
I liked your rule where you came up with an idea of what they should do, where they should get rid of the QB kneel formation, where you take out those 2 receivers that are usually out on the outside and just have the running back in the back, or I
set
formation.
Up as a halfback dive.
Have I formation, have either a fullback or a running back, and then go from there. I think that would make it a little bit more fair. But at the end of the day, this play has been now, what is it, 2 years now? It's been
2 or 3 years.
About 2 or 3 years, and it's worked. And a lot of teams are trying to implement it, but none of them can do it like Philadelphia. So I find it targeting Philly in a way. But again, I'm more on the other side, like, hey, stop them on defense.
Yes.
Stop them on defense. So I don't think it's going to be banned. I really don't, because it has been implemented in this game. It is something new. And it's working for a team which pretty much, again, just won the Super Bowl. This is a massive play.
They've been to the Super Bowl, 2 times in the last 3 years, something like that?
This is something I see like the USFL, or which is now the XFL, correct?
Testing, yeah.
Yes. I could see that being tested as, hey, let's not, if you guys are going to do a tush push, let's eliminate what the NFL has done and how they have formatted it, and let's do exactly what you said, which I think would be very smart.
At the end of the day, okay, so you have, let's say the Eagles are running it, right? You got Saquon, and then you got Goddard behind them, and they're running out and they're pushing them, right? What is different from that and then having Goddard line up as a fullback, Saquon behind him, and you're just
one guy pushing.
Like,
what's Saquon do? He's scrambling around.
But they could still sprint forward and push him. You see what I'm saying? But it's still set up as a play.
Like
right now,
human centipede?
Yeah. Yes. Like
Nice.
Just attached at the asshole. But it's like right now it's just set up like it's rugby, and they're running in and guys are falling on the lineman's legs. And I do agree with McDermott. It is dangerous the way that some teams set it up and run it, because you have some of these tight ends are massive guys, and you have them falling on top of these dudes' knees. We see knee injuries all the time in linemen.
Oh, yeah.
The
I had a knee injury.
The play, a QB sneak itself is dangerous enough because of the way that it ends up falling on the linemen. Guys are tripping over each other. And I agree, QB sneak, you have to have it in the game, because it brings a whole that would be stupid to eliminate it. I feel like sometimes people stretch this tush push into like the QB sneak should be eliminated. That's the dumbest thing ever, because then you're eliminating guys that like these idiots are voting on, like Lamar Jackson to win MVP, but then they turn around and they're like, oh, we should eliminate the quarterback. Dude, if you eliminate quarterback sneaks and stuff, Lamar Jackson just isn't Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes isn't
Jalen Hurts ain't Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts ain't Jalen Hurts. So all these guys that everyone adores and loves watching, it kind of destroys their game. It destroys today's NFL quarterback.
If Jalen Hurts didn't have the tush push, you know how many rushing touchdowns would be taken away from that man?
Oh,
there would be so many rushing touchdowns.
But
taken away.
Saquon, I think, would just have more.
Oh yeah, and Saquon would have more.
Yeah.
What was I going to say here? I think they're not. The reason why I don't think they're going to ban it now is because I think there hasn't been that many injuries. We haven't seen a crucial injury either to these linemen or a quarterback. I have 2 things here. Why it works so well is because it's so perfectly timed by the offensive line. Because the defense, listen, when you can't react to that 0.5 seconds, that 0.2 seconds, that's an advantage right off the bat. But once a quarterback injury happens, a very substantial injury happens, hell's going to break loose, and that's when the NFLPA is going to come in and be like, all right, we just saw Jalen Hurts tear his ACL, and I'm sorry, guys.
It's so dumb.
You know what I mean?
But that's so dumb.
I want them to try to bite the bullet and like get in front of it before anything happens. Yeah. But I just don't see a way that it's because I feel like it's targeting Philadelphia. That's why I don't think they're going to get rid of it.
It is. And anyone that's like, oh, no, it's not targeting Philadelphia. It is.
It's 100% targeting Philadelphia.
You
Philly
could be
fans
a Cowboys fan like me. You could be a Steelers fan. You could be a Buffalo Bills fan. Regardless of what team you support, you have to admit this is targeting Philadelphia.
100%.
This was never a question until Philadelphia was absolutely dominating with it.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I think you think
it will get banned then? Do you think 24 teams will be like, you know what?
No, because all right, let's say the AFC East all votes yes, right? Let's say McDermott goes against himself and votes yes. So that's 4. Then you got the 3 NFC East, which will probably vote against it. You got the Chiefs. You got the Packers. We're at 9 teams. Who else is going to vote against
Jacksonville, the Raiders, Titans. They'll do anything to get a win.
Did you see the picture of the Jacksonville regime that's now in charge there?
No.
They're voting against it.
They're going to vote
100%.
Yes.
Those guys are dweebs. They look ridiculous.
Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. Back to the show.
Terrified of that group. Terrified. If I was Trevor Lawrence, I'd be trying to get out of there too. They're voting against it.
Do they look like paleontologists?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's like Ross from Friends all over the place.
Yeah, they're just, geomorphologists, and they just want to study rocks.
Rocks, man. Well, I think it's dinosaurs, right? Paleontologists?
Fossils.
Fossils, yeah.
Yes, so
fossil
essentially like dinosaurs.
After that, I really don't know who would vote against it. Maybe like Pete Carroll convinces Tom Brady to vote against it.
Again, I just...
Tom Brady... Actually, you know what? Raiders probably will vote against it because Tom Brady probably hates that play.
All the shitty teams will because they need to get a win somehow. And if they're playing Philadelphia and they can eliminate that, they'll get rid of it. But
like Broncos won't. Ravens won't.
You know what they should just do? They should just implement a tush push themselves and be as good as Philadelphia. Yeah. You see them do it every single game. Why don't you just do it? And then everyone's going to do it so much where then they will be like, okay, should this be banned because everyone's doing it? It's unstoppable. But it is unfair in some ways. But again, like stop them on defense.
It is. But at what point do teams look at it and they're like, listen, we have a great quarterback, top 10 quarterback, or what they believe is their top 10 quarterback. And they're like, but he's not capable of running that. Like Sam Darnold's not he's not going to be doing that.
Why'd you got to bring up Sam Darnold, bro?
Because we're talking about really good teams that
you could have like Kirk Cousins or something.
Lamar Jackson can't do it. You're gonna put Bones in there and have him get pushed by Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry will break that man. Like Tua can't do it.
He'll lawn chair him.
Aaron Rodgers can't. Russ can't do it. I think Fields could, but Fields probably they wouldn't do it with. Drake May, you're not running it with Drake May. You should so many teams can't run it. It's literally just Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. So I think Jordan Love could. I think Green Bay tried it, and Jordan Love just didn't want to do it.
Would I be mad if it didn't get?
I just got a text from Abe asking.
He texted me last night. Abe, be better at trading.
Yeah,
stop lowballing people. This is ridiculous. Your team is fine,
dude. I offered him a first, and I was gonna give him Rome as well for Jaden Daniels.
Oh,
and he said no. So that's on him. That's on him. Offer rescinded.
That's a hell of a fucking trade for you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he still is winning, too. That's a very even
I'm
fair
giving
trade.
up a lot because he could go and get someone in the first round.
Rome?
Easy. And his
so what pick do you
have? Good.
You have
I have like 5 or 6, something like that.
Really? No.
Wrong league.
Yeah.
I'm at like 8.
Yeah, you're a little bit
I have first 2/3. I think I have 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's like, I texted him, or he's texting me. He's like, "What would you do for 1.06?" I'm like, "It's either Pook or CD, bro." Like, he's like, "Oh, well, you're gonna have to include Bucky." I'm like, "Yeah, there's no shot. There's no shot."
Dude, I got people telling me, and I'm not gonna say who it is. You know who you are. I asked for their tight end because my tight ends are dog crap. I was gonna give him Kittle, who's on like the back end. He had a great year last year, but there's no way he recreates that once they have wide receivers back healthy. I was gonna give him Kittle and 1 pick. And he's coming back to me saying he needs the first, the second, and he needs Zach Ertz for this tight end. Like, buddy, it's a tight end.
Dak.
Like, he ain't getting throws. And the person that I'm asking for has so many wide receivers on the team that get throws. Like, I'm literally only getting him for the 4 throws that he's getting because he averages like 30 yards a game. That's all I need. He averages like 30 yards and a touchdown every couple of games.
I can't trade in that league, bro. It's
insane.
impossible. The fact that I made a trade last year and I didn't even do it. Like, well, I made one with Nietzsche. Me and Nietzsche are good trade partners. We are
too. I feel like Nietzsche is a trade partner with everybody.
Yes, Nietzsche's a trade partner with everyone. But like when it comes to the other guys, you know who you are. I respect the hell out of you guys. I love you guys. But like when they
don't know ball.
No, like all right.
They don't know ball.
All right,
they don't
for
know
example,
they know ball, they don't know value of ball.
Me and Matt and Liam, we make a trade last year. It was Kirk. I had Herbert. I traded away Herb. I took Kirk, Michael Penix, and a first round pick, which I have for theirs
you won
this
that
year.
Trade. You won that trade.
Definitely. And now they're like, yo, can we get that pick back? Like, we want to do this. What is I'm like, dude, listen, you made the trade.
Bro,
that ain't going nowhere. I
the amount
six,
of times I've made a trade and then like a month later when I'm winning the trade, they're asking for like the back end of that trade back.
Yeah.
I just laugh. I'm like, what? Like, did you not think the trade through?
Yeah,
like, did you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, we want that guy, and you didn't care what you gave away? It makes no sense.
The only person that has really finessed me in that league, I would say, is Emmett, because the one time I was drinking and we were watching the draft at the Nest, and this was before Bijan got selected. It's probably like pick 5. He got selected pick 8. Yeah. I'm like, yo, Emmett. Once I start drinking, it's like, all right, let's fucking do it. Like, I got you want to be risky? I'll be risky. So I'm like, give me a first for Algier. I traded him a first round pick for Tyler Algier. They took Bijan. I'm like, fuck. But then I traded, and again, I was at their crib. We're hanging out. We're having a couple drinks, and I'm like, Emmett, he already knows what's up. I'm like, yo, how's that Bucky guy? Is he tradable? Is he untouchable? He's like, no. I'm like, how about this? I'll give you Xavier Worthy, who just had two really good games, and a third for Bucky. He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, you know what? Why not? Bam. I have evened out the trade with him. Dude, I made a trade with him once. I gave up Raheem Mostert for like Derek Carr in a third. Yeah. Raheem was like, I don't know, the 3rd best running back in the league. I was like, dude, you can't make this shit up.
The way they trade it,
Ahmad,
honestly,
but my guy, I would love to trade with him.
Dude,
hit my line.
I've tried to trade with him so many times, but like the values are so off.
Yeah, it's
off.
awful. Like Gassy, listen, I send Gassy a lot of good trades, and he's like, I just don't need the picks, man. I'm like, dude, help a brother out, man. Like I want that guy, and you know who I want. I want him.
There's times when I'm sending like stupid trades because I understand how this league works. So I'll send outrageous trades, just hoping one of them's being like stupid in the morning. I'll send them real early, like 7 o'clock. Wake
just
up.
like getting up.
Yeah, they look at it like, oh yeah, that looks good.
I would be so vulnerable.
And it's like so I'll send them like a Zach Ertz for like Sanat, with them just being like, they'll remember the name and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good player. I'll take that trade.
As Sanat's gonna be like the new tight end.
Yeah. Like I'll send stuff like that. And but with you and Gassy, I can't do that.
Now, okay, let me ask you, since we're already on this topic. So you have like either pick 10 or 11. I think you have like 9 or 10, something like that in our league. Are you willing to give that up? Because in my opinion, for fantasy, I was looking at the draft board. Yeah. This draft is so loaded. Like I don't see a lot of these players being misses. Like maybe for the first 7 picks, there might be one guy that's gotten the hype and might be a miss or won't start right away. I think this class is just so loaded with like skill positional players. I have to stay. I have to stay.
I'm staying only because I like where our team is at.
So do I. I like where I'm going.
We have Kittle, which obviously Kittle's Kittle. He's going to be good. Zach Ertz is a decent fill-in. He gets catches. Jaden tends to target him pretty often. So I'm not too worried about tight end, although we're pretty weak there. What we need is like one wide receiver, maybe at 3rd or 4th running back, and I think our team looks pretty good. Now, I mean, that's on paper.
I got a fantastic 4 on my lineup. I got a nice fantastic 4. Jameer Gibbs and Bucky. I mean, I could cry. Amon-Ra, Jared Goff. I just need to fill out the other spots. And I can with this draft upcoming.
Yeah, so one thing with my other league, right? So
Dynasty?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
No. So you have 3 keepers each year.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out who I should keep. I'm trying to trade some people. You know,
all right.
And
let's say the lineup here. Let's get the listeners.
I got Herb. I got Pacheco. I got Chuba I'm keeping. I just traded for him.
Yes, you have to keep him.
Jamar Chase keeping. But then I got Nico Collins, Cade Otton, Terry McLaurin, and the defense kicker. That stuff doesn't matter. I got ETN, which I don't care. DeAndre Swift, I don't care.
Nope.
But then I got Lad McConkey, Baker Mayfield, Brandon Cooks.
No.
And then D-Hop, Warren, Ferguson. Doesn't matter. So really it's like, do I keep Nico Collins? Do I keep Lad McConkey? I got Herb and I got Baker Mayfield.
Oh, man.
So
to be honest,
here's what I'm thinking because
McLaurin. It's got to be McLaurin.
What, to keep?
I think you got to keep him.
I was thinking about keeping Lad.
Lad's another one. Oh, yeah, you got Lad, bro.
But what I also was thinking about here, Mike, is so quarterbacks aren't – I wouldn't keep a quarterback because when you look at the quarterbacks that will be available, no one's going to really keep that many quarterbacks. Like you might keep Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, those type of quarterbacks you'll keep. Most people aren't going to keep them. They're going to keep their skill positions. So you could get a really good quarterback probably in the second, third round.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this. Maybe I keep Lad and I move – like Nico and Terry in a trade for another first-round pick or something.
I like
and now
that.
all of a sudden I can just go ahead and get another wide receiver. I could get another running back. Easy.
I think Lad will give you more consistency than Terry, but Terry will give you more of a boom than Lad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, listen, the Chargers are going to have to address some type of position, either tight end or receiver. But I think Lad will give you 15 almost every single week. He'll have his 12s and stuff, but he'll have his 15s, 18s. He'll have his 22, 25s. He's trending way upwards for me. I think you have to keep him.
I think I'm confident that if I keep Lad, I can move Nico and Terry for a first-round pick or another player, a big, high-quality player. And I could still get her back in the draft.
Yeah.
Easily. Him or Baker.
Or Baker. You get one of those guys, you'd be happy. I would rather go for Baker, in my opinion. It's a bigger
boom.
Bigger boom, passing heavy offense. So,
all right. Yeah. So I think, so that just confirmed it. I'm going to keep Lad. I'm going to try and move the others.
Mm-hmm. Terry is intriguing, though. Nico, I would move off him because Stephon will be back. Tank will be back. CJ, what's he going to look like next year? But I think what we see from Jaden Daniels, Terry's the guy.
I know.
But if you don't think if you think Jaden Daniels is going to have a sophomore slump,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so let's move on. That's actually a good little segue here to the NFL Draft Combine. It came out this week that Shedeur Sanders is going to attend but not participate in drills. Combine.
I think
drills.
that's not good.
So what are your thoughts? Go ahead.
Well, the reason he's probably holding out is because he just has so much pull from Dion, his pops. So he had a very good year. His numbers were really good. Mm-hmm. I just don't know, I don't think his draft stock's going to get hurt in a way. I think that's why he's not doing it is because he thinks he's maybe going to slide a little bit. And for some reason, does not want to go to the Vegas Raiders. He just does not want to go there. So I think, hey, look at my college tape. That's what you have. That's what I bring to the table. And I honestly, maybe it might hurt him if he does the combine now as I think of it. Because if he does show out or he does, I don't know, play shit, he's going to drop no tomorrow. And you get guys like Jack Zadar, who's probably going to participate in it and is probably going to fry and is going to maybe jump Shedeur Sanders, where now Shedeur is lurking in the 4 to 7 range, where it's the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Raiders, and the Jets. Mm-hmm. So if he wants to solidify his top 3, maybe it's a good move because, again, he already has the tape. You already saw the numbers, and you saw how he played. You don't need to. Cam Ward, that's another guy. Do you really need to see him in the combine participating? No, he's going to be a top 3 pick. So I see where he's coming from, especially with his pops too. He's going to have the pull, dude.
Yeah, I think it's a little different though for Cam Ward, where his team was in contention for the playoff until the very last minute, very last second of the playoff picture being created. Everyone knew what Cam Ward is going to. Everyone knows Cam Ward's probably going to be successful when he gets in the league. Mm-hmm. He has the attributes. He can run. He can pass. He can create top 10 plays all over the field. I think Cam Ward will be very good in the league. When it comes to Shedeur, what he did at Colorado, what's impressive about it?
Exactly.
What did they win? Cam Ward didn't win this year, but he got his team into the top 10 consistently the whole season. I mean, they were unlucky to miss out on the ACC championship, which kept them out of the playoff. But, what did Colorado do in Shador's time there?
Yeah.
Outside of his time at Jackson State when he was playing against high school teams and JUCO teams, like, what did he prove and show? I think the social media hype has put him in the top 10.
Yes.
But when you look at the doubts from the league the past week, where they're all like, I mean, he's probably a second, third round pick, but he's going to be a first rounder, top 10 pick. I agree with you. Probably shouldn't do the combine because it could hurt him. But at the same time, you do the combine and you show out. All right, now you're just shutting up everyone that's talking crap on you. So there's two sides to it. Like, he could go out there and shut everybody up, or you sit out, you do your interviews, you do well in the interviews, and you stay a top 10 pick.
Why I like the combine, and obviously you take it with a grain of salt at times. Like, when you see Xavier Worthy run a 4.21, you're like, shit, this guy's fast. Like, that's probably what got him to be a first-round pick in the first place. But I think when it comes from a coach's perspective, it's like, go play. Let's see how, like, I don't want people sitting out. I think all coaches want all of these players that are coming into the draft to play and show what they have, especially the guys like your Bo Nixes and your Jackson Darts, your Kyle McCords and all that. Like, those guys are going to do it for a reason.
I think Kyle McCord's going to look great.
I read something that his football influence was Mark Sanchez.
Dude, yep, Jet. He's a Jet.
Isn't that wild? Mark said, "Who the fuck?"
Congrats on your next quarterback, Mike. You just got Kyle McCord, Aaron Glenn, and Kyle McCord.
Him. But I don't know. I feel like as a coach, it's like when you sit out for non-injury reasons, it's like, all right, like there's one check off the box. All right, is he dedicated to playing football? Right there, right off the bat. Like, is he too worried about his ego? Blah, blah, blah. Like, as a coach, like, all right, Sam Darnold, for example, I love throwing this in there. His pro day, it was downpouring. He still went out there and was slinging the ball. Like, coaches want to see that shit because it's those, I guess, impactful weather conditions that make a difference.
Yeah.
Where the combine, it's not the same, but like, it's still good to see your numbers. It's still good to just show that, hey, I want to go play football just for the hell of it. I just want to go sling the ball and have fun.
When did this whole like sitting out thing start? Like sitting out bowl games, sitting out the combine. Like, when did this all become like the thing to do?
Yeah.
I get some bowl
games. I understand.
You don't want to risk injury in that. You gave your all for 4 years. That last bowl game, you don't want to go into it and like, something crazy happens. I get that. It's a difference between playing in a national championship and
especially as a quarterback too, it's different.
The Toledo Open bowl game brought to you by John Stevens
Flower City
Insurance.
Union.
There's a difference there.
Yeah.
But the combine, like sitting out the combine doesn't make sense to me. Like, do you not have confidence in yourself?
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
nervous that you're going to go out there and do bad and you're going to drop? Like, you're going to get
Saquon Barkley did the combine, bro.
Yes. Most of the great players in the NFL, probably all of them. Like, if we listed great players off right now, if we just went back and forth, I bet 99%, 99.99999% participated at the combine, unless they had an injury like Abdul Carter does.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
which I think him having the shoulder injury, he's going number one.
Oh, for sure.
He's going
it don't
number
matter.
one.
I think when it comes, I mean, he's going to be a top 2 pick. And it's funny because now that we're getting closer to the draft now, like you're seeing, is Travis Hunter going to go number 1?
No.
Is Abdul Carter going to go number 1? Is Mesa, like,
we gotta go over to New Jersey and place this Abdul Carter. He's going 1. He's going 1.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he didn't go 1. But the pro days, ever since Zach Wilson was lighting up a pro day, that shit doesn't matter anymore. Like, quarterbacks would rather do a pro day and just throw the ball 60 yards than do a combine.
Yeah.
And do a high jump or the broad jump and run the 40. Like, fuck the pro day. Screw the pro day. I'm scarred from the pro day. I am so scarred from the pro day, and I think Joe Douglas and probably the entire league is now scarred from pro days.
At least
I'll never forget that, bro. I'll never forget that, dude. Twitter on that day, I remember I was driving. I was in Westchester going somewhere, and people were like on Twitter, like, "Oh my god, this throw!" It was the same exact throw. It is engraved in my memory. Him rolling left, him throwing right. Literally a receiver just going, drag vertical to the right and just nailing him perfectly in the bucket there. And
you know who else did that? AR.
AR is another one. Yeah.
AR. And look at him now.
I know.
questions.
There's
all
so
over
many
the place.
things that come out now prior to the draft where it's like, oh, here's your pro day, here's the combine. Like the combine's so important because obviously you have to really just rank your players. You got to rank, like everyone has their boards now. Like everyone is making their boards of, all right, who are these guys when this pick is going to be around, when we have second round, we have the 40th pick. Mm-hmm. What guys are going to be around? How do we rank them in accordance to BPA, in accordance to need? Like those numbers matter. If you're talking about your arm length, if you're talking about, I don't know, your bench press, like I think that stuff at the end of the day just shows like number one, your competitiveness, your grit, and then obviously your physical attributes, your strength, your jump, your 40. Like obviously we have overblown the 40 time, like no tomorrow. And hand size.
Never forget when Joe Burrow almost had to retire after the
combine. Oh, yeah, because he's got small hands. Yeah. And he doesn't wear a glove, thank God. But the 40 is just one of the biggest ones because it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, when you see an Xavier Worthy run a 4.21, set the record, like, that was electric, man. Like, you're seeing a dude, that is incredible time. Yeah. Like, it's fun to watch.
Do you think that'll ever get broken?
Listen, you never know. You never know. There's always that one guy that is just a speedster, but I don't know, man. 4.21 that's a tough record. Yeah. And do you really want to land at 4.20? Let's be real here. It could be a sign that maybe you shouldn't get him.
Yeah. So. All right, for wellness, everybody. Let's have a great year. It starts with for wellness. Yeah, Mike, give him the little slide. Give him the slide. All right, so for wellness, brought to you by Phil Mickelson. Great coffee, great supplements. Get hydrated with their gummies. They're fantastic. They'll be gone in one sitting, one round of golf. The coffee's fantastic. I'm having a cup of it right now, actually.
Toss that over here.
Here you go. Isn't that a nice cup?
Is it cold?
It's pretty cold now.
Oh, it's nice.
It's nice. It's nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. It gets the day going. You know, I would have it when it's hot. It's been a while since I made that. It's pretty cold at the moment. It's not
freezing,
great.
Son.
It's really cold. It's like a nice coffee now.
That's where I get rid of it.
Go to For Wellness. Use this code. We always have other discount offers that we post on social media, on Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you head over there and follow us for more. You get other discounts on top of the $15 off your first order. Great stuff. Great supplements. Be like Phil. Let's have a great day.
Like Phil.
Let's have a great day. All right, Mike. Anything to say on there? Are we good?
Golf season's approaching, baby. The warmer weather's coming. You're getting your emails. Hey, this golf course is opening this week. This golf course is opening this week. This golf course ain't opening because there's still snow on the course. Get these beforehand so when you're out in the course, you have them. Here's the code. Use it.
All right, Mike. Let's look at some futures here. Let's look at some futures real quick before we head out. A lot of good stuff. I'm looking at Fanduel right now. We have the regular season MVP. We got some player props to look through. Let's start with MVP, though, Mike. So Lamar Jackson is the front-running favorite at plus 450. You got Josh Allen plus 550, Joe Burrow at 650, Patrick Mahomes, Daniels, Hurts, Herb, Goff, Stroud. That's the top 9. Brock Purdy rounds it out at top 10, which I think is crazy.
Still.
Yeah. Who do you like? Who do you think should win MVP next year?
Joe Burrow. I'm all in on Joe Burrow for next year. I think they're only what we saw from him last year is, listen, this dude is going to be in the league for a long time, and he's going to be just putting up the same numbers like he did last year. I think this year upcoming, if they can address the defense and they can have a really good offseason addressing the defense only, and maybe a receiver depending on what they do with T. Higgins, I see Joe Burrow coming back, and I see him winning the MVP. Listen,
like that.
We'll probably get into that too, but yeah, I like Joe Burrow here. If I want to go for value in a way, like later, but obviously your plus 1,000s, plus 1,500s.
Yeah.
Can you list off some guys? Because I would say Baker. Baker would be
Baker
one of them.
Mayfield's at plus 4,000. One guy that I was looking at, for similar reasons to what you just said about Joe Burrow with a bounce-back year, is C.J. Stroud. I think with the team that he's got there, he's in a good position where he could put up a lot of numbers, carry that team to wins, and if they have a really good season, if they take care of the division how they should, if they stay healthy, if the athletic department can keep it together there and get these guys on the field, not have Tank Dell dying in Kansas City again, not his fault. But so I think C.J. Stroud has a very good shot at winning an MVP. I think that team's good enough to make a little run in the playoffs. I like that one at plus 250.
I would say right off the bat, I have 3. Baker, I don't think will win it, so I'll take him out of there. But Joe Burrow will be my number 1.
Plus 650.
Caleb Williams. I'm going to rock with Caleb Williams.
Plus 3,500.
I'm going to rock with Caleb Williams as like a $10 bet. Hey, win 350, call it a day. Probably going to make up most of your losses throughout the whole year. With Ben Johnson there and the weapons that he has, he just has to ball out. Mm-hmm. And listen, if you remember him in USC, that senior tape he had was exquisite.
Yeah.
Beautiful football, beautiful throws, accurate. I think he's on the come up. I really do. I know the Bears are the Bears at the end of the day, but where they're heading towards now, if he could just put him in a good position, if they can address the O-line, if they could just protect him, maybe have a run game, that'd be nice.
That'd be good.
I think Caleb Williams has a shot.
I like that one. I'm going to give one last one here, and this is a long shot, capital Long shot.
Trey Lance.
Okay. No, Mike, we are going way farther. Sorry to Trey Lance, by the way, because everyone knows he's the much better quarterback of the other 3 starters in the NFC East besides Dak. I've said this for most of the season that I think this man is the best running back, the most capable running back in the league, and now he's got a good quarterback. He's coming into year 2. He's going to have weapons around him. Hopefully, they can stack him back up. Year 3.
If you're talking about BR.
Michael Penix is in year 2.
I thought you meant the running back.
Oh, no, yeah. BR is in year 3. Absolutely. Okay. But way to ruin it. Now everyone knows I'm talking about Bijan.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson at plus 15,000.
I like it.
I think he's capable of doing even more than what Derrick Henry and Saquon did this year. There's the way he plays, I think he's so important to that team. And I know this is a quarterback-heavy award, and it really should just be a who's the best quarterback award.
Yes.
But when it comes to most valuable, I think there's a really good shot that Bijan is in that conversation. I think he can get the rushing record. I think he can score 20-plus touchdowns this year. And I think Atlanta, we said it last show, they should be winning this division. They have the team to win this division. They're a few pieces away from being a dominant team. Who's to say Bijan can't be in that conversation, just like Saquon was this past year?
Why I won't take a skill position guy is because the quarterback always wins.
I know.
And it's unbelievable. I'm tired of that shit.
But if Bijan comes out here and he has the most touchdowns in the league, if he breaks the rushing record in 17 games, right? So I'm saying 16 games in a 17-game season, right? If he breaks the record, if he's dominant, if he's carrying this team like he's Mo Salah, who's to say he can't win it, right? So I think that's for value. We're talking value. Dude, 15,000 plus 15,000. I like Bijan.
That's a cash out at one point.
That's a cash out.
That's a cash out. Yeah. Once you get that one cash out, take it.
Yep, absolutely.
I might throw 100 on it.
Listen.
So that would be 100 to win 15 grand or 1,500. That'd be 15 grand.
Let's see. We're not good at math on
that.
This
would
show.
be 100 win 15 grand.
I can't even find them.
You gotta search them up.
100 to win 15 grand.
You want to split it?
Fuck, I'll split
You want
it.
to throw 50 on it, and then when we
it.
think a good cash out is on the horizon, should we cash out?
I'll do it.
All right,
Let's do
deal.
it. All right.
So we'll split what? Around 6 grand each.
Yeah, 7 and a half.
Taxes.
15.
Taxes.
But yeah, so it'll be like 3,000.
That would be a nice come up.
That's fantastic.
All right,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You don't have to do it right now, but we will.
I can't even do it on here. All right, so speaking of the rushing record, Saquon Barkley to break the single-season rushing record of 2,106 yards. He's got to get that or more in 2025-26. It's plus 3,300. You know,
I'm not going to take that.
I don't think he comes close.
I really don't. I still think he's going to have a phenomenal season, but I think he's going to be watched at all times when it comes to defenses.
Yeah. The Chiefs shut him down. The Chiefs stopped nothing else, but they shut him down. If a team can figure out how to stop like anything else, this Eagles team is going to be in trouble because the Chiefs gave a blueprint of how to stop Saquon.
Yeah, there are gonna be a lot more teams that are gonna be stacking the box, and again, Jalen Hurts is gonna have to throw, and we saw exactly what he can do with that. But I think they would rather take their chances with him doing that than Saquon going against a 4-man front and a linebacker who's, I don't know, 30 years old trying to stop him. No. He's probably, my guess is he'll probably have around 17 to 1,800.
Yeah.
Rushing yards we're talking about.
Yes.
Not all purpose.
No, rushing yards.
I'm thinking
rushing
around
yards.
there he'll have.
Yeah.
I still think he's going to have a great year.
It's going to be a great year. That's a great year. But he set the bar so high that if he comes out and he only rushes for like 1,600, I'm saying only, like,
is it a failed season?
I'm telling you right now, there's Philly fans out there with brains, and they're going to be saying this is a great season. But there's Philly fans out there that are licking poles, falling off poles, looking like idiots, twerking on cars, and they're going to be the ones saying, "Oh, is Saquon done? Like, do we only get one good year out of Saquon?" Bro, he has got 16. He's the second. He's going to be probably in third place for yards with that number, second or third place, maybe even first. So that's a bad bet. Don't take that bet.
Yeah, don't take
that bet.
That's
You're better off taking the Bijan one.
Yes, I'm with him there. Don't take that one. Hey, listen, you could prove us wrong, but between what they're going to see exactly, they're going to be a winning team. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to sit him again. I mean, it's a whole different year, man. Everyone's going to get better. Defenses are going to get better. A lot of good defensive players in this draft that'll make a difference. But no, they're not going to let Saquon go crazy. And if they do, Saquon just had a crazy run, or you just couldn't stop him, or whatever. But I don't see him hitting it. I don't.
All right, let's move on here to some quarterbacks to throw 4,000 plus regular season passing yards next season. It only gives you 4 options at the moment. You got Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts in that order of favorite to least favorite. I think Mahomes is going to be coming back with a vengeance.
100%.
I think at minus 155, you just hammer that thing, and he's going to end up around 5,000 next year. I think he's coming back with a vengeance. He's probably going to make another run at the Super Bowl, barring Joe Burrow resurgence.
That's who I'm taking. I'm very high on Joe Burrow this year.
Me too. I wish he was on this list because I would have him. He would probably be listed at 5,000. But I love Patrick Mahomes here.
I take the top 2. I take Josh. I think Josh more than Mahomes, if anything. I think Josh throws for 4K so easily. What is he, like plus 105?
For me with Josh Allen, Shakir was his real only target this past year. Can Coleman come back and put a season together? Who are they going to bring to be the third guy? Because Amari Cooper probably won't be brought back. Gone. So we got to figure out who that third guy's going to be. James Cook, they're having issues with him at the moment.
Mm-hmm. You got to bring that guy back.
You have to. You have to. But
bring him back.
I don't know why he's acting the way he is. He still has another year on his contract. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's kind of like the Jamar Chase situation. Yep. So he'll definitely be back. It's just a matter of time. Josh Allen, there's games where he will throw for like 150 and they'll run for 300.
Yeah.
And that's going to frustrate me if I take that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's why I think Lamar Jackson at plus 260, that's some good value for this one because he has games where he'll throw for 350 yards. And, I mean, his bad games are maybe 150, 200.
His weapons are the ones that...
But he booms often.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think everything except Jalen Hurts is a great pick there.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts at 4,000 yards. Let's be honest, guys. That's not happening. All right, let's keep scrolling here. I like this one. I saw this one earlier. Patrick Mahomes' regular season total passing touchdowns is set at 27.5.
I'm taking the over on him.
He got to, right?
He's coming back. He's coming back with a vengeance. They're going to get better. They're going to get healthy again. Rashee Rice will probably be playing. You still have Worthy. Travis Kelce, what's he going to be? Where is he going to be gone? Is he going to be on the team? He's going to want, if he comes back, he's going to demand the ball more. Yeah. It's not like, again, I just see this team for the Chiefs, like, do they really need the weapons that are like top tier in this league? No, because you have a guy like Mahomes and the offense schematically run by Andy Reid, where he's just going to find the open man and let the guy run. Xavier Worthy is, I mean, listen, when you have Rashee and Xavier Worthy, that's a really solid 1-2 punch there. I mean, we didn't think so at the start of the year. I didn't think so. No. But the fact that Worthy started coming around, and obviously Rashee was
a weapon.
He's definitely a weapon now. And Rashee was just dominating before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Those are 2 really good receivers to have.
Yes. And they're both going to be back next year. We'll see what they do at tight end. I think we all know what's going to happen at tight end, but this team...
Do we? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying they're going to have the 1-2 still.
Yes.
Like there's no way Travis Kelce would have retired already if he was going to retire.
Yeah,
I think personally. So I think they're going to be bringing a lot of guys back. They're one of the best teams at reloading and returning. I see Patrick Mahomes having a great year. I see these wide receivers having a great year. Pacheco's going to be back. They just got to find a number 2 that's going to be able to do it because they got to make sure Kareem Hunt's going to be able to. Pacheco tends to be injured each year at some point. Last thing, and then we're going to head out. Let's look at Super Bowl winners. So the early odds, Eagles are obviously up there at 650. Chiefs at second with 700, tied with the Ravens. Mike, is there any team that you just feel in your gut is going to be in that Super Bowl outside the Eagles and the Chiefs?
I think the Bengals. I really think the Bengals are going to do it. Again, they have to nail this offseason, but with that offense that I saw last year, they were putting up how many points a game? What, 28 at least?
Yeah.
They were hitting low 40s, high 30s. I don't see a difference in that. I think they're going to put up points, but they got to address the defense. And listen, he's made it back. Jalen Hurts has broken the curse. The curse is now broken. Anything can happen. I like the Bengals going in the AFC. And the NFC, I'm stuck between 3 teams. Okay. And I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet.
Okay.
Obviously the Eagles.
Okay.
The Lions.
Okay.
I think they can make a run. They're just so stacked. And Tampa. I think
so. It's interesting.
Tampa is there.
It's interesting that you say Tampa because I was even going along with the Bees on one. I was going to say the Falcons because the cash out value. If the Falcons can put a season together that we think they can, they're going to be in a situation where we could cash out and then just cheer for our team.
Michael Penix, though, Kyle Pitts.
Come on, Kyle Pitts ain't going to be that good. But I do like the Bucs pick is good. I think the Bucs or the Falcons, you can't really go wrong with it. Each one will have a good cash out once you get to the playoffs. But in terms of like making a pick and sticking with it to the Super Bowl or until it loses, Cincy, man.
You too? You would take Cincy?
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at. I actually had the cursor on it when you said Cincy. Like 1,700. Joe Burrow's coming back. Jamar Chase is coming back. I think Joe Burrow wants to find a way to bring T. Higgins back. What's his name?
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. He's coming back, obviously. That O-line, I mean, they got to play better. The defense got to play better. There's no way it can get worse on defense.
Right.
There is no way that it could be worse on defense. That team, they should have won probably almost every game. I think they come back and they make a big run this year.
They have to start out strong, and I think that's what hurt them last year, obviously, because they were,
6 losses?
1-4 at one point?
Something crazy.
Wait, didn't they lose to the Patriots? Am I correct? They lost to the Patriots week 1.
Yeah.
Like, that should not ever happen. Like, they need to start off strong. They're going to have probably a tough schedule because I don't know. I don't think it will be as bad as we think. They'll be in some primetime games against good teams, but I think the divisional teams that they're playing, we already talked about the NFC East. They're playing the AFC East. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm high on them. I think they can really make it back. And I think people are going to sleep on Tampa. I think Tampa, they've made the playoffs the last 3 years, and I think they're only getting better. We keep forgetting about this guy, and shame on me for this. Jalen McMillan.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about
Jalen McMillan. Listen, if he gets relegated to a wide receiver 3 role and they bring back Godwin, that's a scary team. That's a scary offense. Again, that's another team like the Bengals. They have to address the defense as much as they can. Secondary, edge rusher, linebacker. They need to address that whole defense. A lot of guys got to step up. I know they were like Yaya Diaby. They were very high on him. He didn't really show it much. You're secondary, but Jalen McMillan had like an Amon-Ra ending, and guys like that turn out to be pretty good players. Yeah. Like Amon-Ra, when he had that stretch where he didn't do anything for the first 14 weeks of the season, after that was throwing up, in terms of fantasy numbers, his targets were around 12 to 11. He was getting 10 catches, 9 catches, 8 catches, putting up numbers. Jalen McMillan had the same exact ending. He had touchdowns pretty much, I think, 5 straight weeks. When Godwin was gone, those last couple weeks, they could be scary. And Bucky Irvin is holding down the RB1 role. Baker Mayfield, he doesn't fumble that last play or that last possession.
Yeah.
They win the game.
Yeah.
So I think I could see a Bengals-Buccaneers Super Bowl. I'm put a bet in for that. I think Cincy beats them, but I'll put a bet in for that. But I think the Birds can go back 2 as well. I mean, if they stay healthy.
It was so, Mike, that was going to be such a great ending to the show, and then you said that bullshit at the end. They ain't going back.
All right. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You know who. There's a different team that wears blue, and I'll be putting a little friendly wager on them. This is a great way to end the show. Carolina Panthers at plus 12,000. You know what's happening. Bryce Young to the Super Bowl. All right, Mikey. Ready?
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, see you guys.
Like, follow, subscribe.